Okay, welcome back. This time, let's go back to another story that's very, very much in the view, in front of the view of most Nigerians, talking about Senator Ike Ekweremadu, former Deputy Senate President, and his travels in the United Kingdom, where, according to their definition, they're going to be looking into his activities in as far as organ harvesting is concerned, according to their definition. Well, my guest this time is Mr. Fred Nzeako, legal practitioner and public affairs analyst. Fred, it's great to have you again.
Glad to be with you, Uncle Yori.
Brother.
Otumba Yori. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, it's a very serious matter. In fact, so serious that even our own Senate, they've resolved to send a team to the UK from what they're supposed to leave tomorrow, I think, to see what they can do for Senator Ike Ekweremadu. The team is an official one because it is said the delegation will consist of members of the Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs. The Senate President has also mandated the committee to engage the British High Commissioner locally for any other facts. And the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Onyema, is said to have been also on the case. So I wanted to ask you as a lawyer, and with the little that we do know about how seriously Britain takes its register of donors and all that kind of a thing, and how they frown against self-help, what exactly do you think would be your idea of what this kind of a delegation can do for our Senator Ike Ekweremadu?
Yes, thank you, Yori. Before we look at issues around the delegation, let us quickly look at the issue you slightly touched on, the seriousness that Britain takes on issues of self-help in organ donation. Before Ike Ekweremadu left Nigeria to UK, he wrote British High Commission. He wrote them, and in that letter, he exhibited the details, at least the necessary details of the supposed volunteer donor. And he was going for medical examination in UK for the purposes of organ donation. That letter presupposes that Ike Ekweremadu was not dragging an unwilling fellow to UK to go and harvest his organ. That letter presupposes that Ike Ekweremadu had followed due process. That letter presupposes that the donor was not being conscripted against his will. And that letter came long before the visa was even granted and much long before they traveled to the UK.
Okay, so that letter that has been published on social media,
yes,
are you saying that we can take it as a genuine letter?
Why wouldn't we take it for genuine?
No, because anything can be put on the internet.
British High Commission come out to say no.
No.
So that is where we expect that the Senate, whatever committee they said is going to UK, for which reasons I do not know, should at least start from home. It has been well established that the challenge that Ekweremadu was initially facing was essentially the challenge of the age of the young boy, which the young boy had deceived. I mean, it has come to the fore, the Metropolitan Police, and claimed that he was 15. That triggered the signal that a minor, because obviously a minor cannot donate an organ. Obviously.
That's right.
Because a minor, the decision to donate will be made by somebody else, maybe the parent or the guardian, but somebody who is now a major, who is an adult that has come of age. And by definition, even in Britain, an adult is from 18 years. To the extent that from 18 years, you can even leave your father's house and say, I don't want to stay with you people anymore. I can take care of myself. And the law and the society will protect you. It has become obvious that this young man is not a minor. Immigration Services has said that all the documents that were submitted before they issued him passport indicated he was born on 12th October 2000. He submitted his BVN, reading that same. He submitted his NIN, reading the same age. He has even he even had a bank account with one of these banks in 2019. And that bank account, the details in that bank account, which has come to the fore, indicated that he was born on 12 October 2000. So the national passport is really the same age. So every detail, biodata of the young man indicated that he was born on 12 October year 2000. And the immigration says he is of age. So we issued him passport. Meanwhile, in issuing passport to him, he brought a letter of introduction from his country, from his state, indicating indigenship, which came from the said liaison office of Ebonyi State. Because we get to also bring that so that people will now be sure that they are issuing passport to Nigerian citizens. If all these things have been done, that is following due process. So we have rested that issue. The issue of the boy's age is no longer in contention. And if it's no longer in contention, what now triggered the action of Metropolitan Police? Because it was that issue of age.
That's right.
If you now settle that one, the next thing will now be, was he conscripted outside his own conviction or outside his own agreement? That is the only thing that we'll talk about.
Okay.
And in solving that,
yes,
Ekweremadu wrote British High Commission. And in that letter, he indicated what they were going to do.
Exactly.
So,
now,
except if anybody is saying that that letter may be fake because we are seeing it on the social media.
you know,
All right? So it is now the duty of this committee interact and interface with British High Commission and know the truth. And I can tell you, you're sorry, sir, I can tell you that the stampede with which Metropolitan Police approached this issue was essentially because of the professed, but now found out to be wrong, age of that boy.
That's on the one hand. The other thing, and let me hasten to add speculation in this whole matter, following all the plethora of stuff that is online, is also the fact that, as you pointed out, Senator Ekweremadu had written to the British High Commission stating the reason for going to the UK. Now, Senator Ekweremadu is a lawyer himself, so he's not ignorant of many of these provisions. Now, one theory goes that, bearing in mind the fact that we spoke about earlier about the UK frowning against self-help in these kind of matters, that somebody is actually writing to the British High Commission, stating, as you said, very clearly the reason for which this guy was traveling, that it is thought could have, raised a red flag. So they knew from here that, wait a minute, is this for real? Now, until he lands over there is when we'll know whether or not it's for real. So when you talk about the Metropolitan Police, perhaps they had been alerted, that, look, somebody actually has said to us in writing that he's coming to try and engage in self-help here. So you guys need to be ready. Because I read also that the members of the Nigerian High Commission in the UK, he was arrested in their presence.
The question is, does Britain have a kidney bank where you will come and then you will purchase kidney and it is transplanted? That's the question, do they?
What they say they have is a register of donors.
Do they have register of all the people around the world?
No, register.
By the time the young man comes into Britain, he will now go through the register.
Oh.
Yes, because he's not a British citizen.
Well, that...
No, I'm coming. He's not a British citizen. He didn't reside in Britain. He came in. They wanted to use the facility, which is the British hospital, which they would have used any other facility in any other country of the world. He did not try to get donation from a British citizen, in which case that you will begin to ask, that citizen would have registered, oh, I want to donate my kidney. They are all foreigners that came in and they want to use the facility.
But you can't jump the queue. They say that queue.
Look, what do they
you can't jump the queue.
Which queue?
The queue of on the register.
So when you come, you now queue up.
Yes.
I'm coming. You queue up, and when it gets to your turn,
yes,
you now donate your kidney.
Well, you will be contacted that a compatible organ has been found. You must go on the queue. 1, 2. There must be no, what you lawyers call, consideration for the matter. There must be no payment matter. 3, the person has to be a blood relation.
Look, this issue of the person being a blood relation does not work.
Okay.
Why I say it does not work, in medical analysis, that the little that I know, I'm not a medical doctor. If, assuming you don't have somebody of your blood relation, what do? You allow the person to die when there is somebody that is willing.
Well, these are just the guidelines.
No,
these are the guidelines.
If it were the Queen of England, for example, that needs kidney, would they say it must come from a royal family? Let us face the fact.
But these are the regulations.
No, would they say the donor must come from the royal family? Well, when they want to prosecute war in other countries, do they say the soldiers must be from Britain? Okay. Don't they amass soldiers from all over the world? But when they prosecuted the World War in 1942-45, they came to Nigeria and conscripted my own father.
But this is an ethical
and called him a World War veteran, and he fought on the side of Britain for 3 or 4 years.
But this is an ethical issue, and we can't. I think the British idea is that the fact that you have more money than me, for instance, should not, because of that, make you get it ahead of me if I was on the queue beforehand.
I have a personal feeling that they have an axe to grind with Nigerian leaders. Okay. And they have used Ekweremadu as a scapegoat. Well, otherwise, there is no reason, there's no basis for what they are talking about.
But there are regulations.
The regulations, he has not flouted the regulations.
You can't engage in self-help.
How did he engage in self-help?
You can't try to help yourself.
Did he try to open the guy up by himself?
No.
He took him to a British hospital. It is the duty of the hospital. Let's say, for example, I go to a Nigerian hospital.
I understand you.
Let's say any public hospital or even private. By the time you enter your details, it is the duty of the hospital to say, we are doing so. Okay. And then they will now contact the registrar. It is not the duty of the foreigner that has come to first go and seek out that registry. Meanwhile, before they came, a hospital in Nigeria would have recommended them, and there would have been some cross-exchange of documentation and ideas before they now landed in Britain. It is the duty of that hospital to contact the system and say, we have this so-and-so procedure, so that it will go into their statistics. All the whole thing is all about statistics. When we say, when a birth is registered, register of birth and death. When somebody dies, register the death. Okay. When somebody is born, register the birth. It is all for statistical purposes. It does not mean that if you don't register, you will not die. Or if you don't register, you will not bear your children.
You know, this is a strange case in the sense that I imagine so many organs have been, transplanted
without even the system knowing it.
Without the system
knowing it. If Ekweremadu had gone to maybe in India or Pakistan or Egypt, all these issues will not arise.
They wouldn't.
And then even before he went, he wrote British High Commission. That singular letter, Yori, that singular letter. Because in law we talk about.
What do you think that singular letter does?
About mens rea and actus reus. The intention and the action. That letter has expressed his intention as being genuine, and then going to Britain with visa, and then going to a known hospital has also shown that his actions were also genuine.
The Brits don't want or allow anybody to pay for that gesture. If I'm going to donate my kidney, whatever it is, I cannot, by the British regulation, receive consideration for that. Nobody can.
It's just like blood donation. You donate blood. You are supposed to donate blood freely.
I am just
but even when after donating blood, yes, the blood donor is giving something to replenish the blood that he lost.
No. The British said no in our regulations. You can't pay.
You are not paying. You are giving something to replenish.
Okay.
No matter whatever it is.
A form of cola.
Even if it is a tin of milk. To replenish the blood.
Nzeako has been online and has been waiting all this while. Good morning to you, sir. Apologies. Please go ahead now.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, I guess. This issue of Senator Ekweremadu issue, it's not, to me, it's nothing. It's not an issue. One, where is the parents of that young man? We have not heard about from his father or his mother. And to me, as an individual, I was expecting Ekweremadu at least. Britain is not the only place. If you want to do some of this, now you ask yourself, how did this issue of Ekweremadu going abroad with the daughter, how do you come on board? is within its own circle, internal. So you should look inward, not to look to outside. Some people will say maybe political people or political people, but that one notwithstanding. But the question now is this: whether the Senate or the members of the House of Rep or anything are going outside Nigeria, they should not go there and disgrace Nigeria. They should go there, that is diplomatically, whatever they are doing and whatever they are going to say, whatever the approach they are using. Because this thing is that it's now on the limelight. People will now say different factions of stories. But the question is to me, I could have expected him to go to a high-brow hospital for them, like what you have just said now, Sayuri, that there are procedures of getting organ harvesting from stage to stage. Not a question of this fast one. Because if it has gone in a gradual process, in a non-gradual, it will not be, because maybe they need it sharp. That is the problem of issue of sharp issue. When you go for something of sharp issue, you must surely come to it, unless you have already settled yourself. Because Arabian has followed that process of go from one stage to another, from another stage to another. But the question now is this: we have to be very careful, because as the people have understood that such judgment leads to life imprisonment in Britain. I don't know whether it's true, but I start to be corrected. And secondly, his political career, we have to be very careful so that it will not tarnish, because no matter whatever that happened now, if it's not favorable for Ekweremadu at the end of this issue, it means his political career has been tarnished totally. We pray it will not happen like that. But the question is that this is a lesson to all Nigerians. Whatever you are doing, please follow due process, not Nigerians sharp to jumping off queue, like what you have been saying now, that they have a register. But the issue is, whether the young man is 15 years or 22 years, it has already turned the old self-image, the young man, because if you look at his bank account, if you look at his different pictures people have been seen on the net, it's differently. Even there was a friend was sitting there, was playing music on his own, all this on the net. But the question is, the way forward is this. It's not issue on Nigerian government. Let the Ekweremadu and the lawyers sit down and follow the due process and make sure this thing moves the normal way, not going to the sharp way. If you're going to the sharp way, it will not work. We pray it will come out of it. But the question is, his political career is standing, but only God in heaven knows. Good morning.
Well, thank you very much, Mazi. Yes, there's a lot riding on this. The Senate sending this committee, this delegation that they have asked to, liaise with the British High Commission, where it all started from in the first place, because as you were saying, they wrote a letter, the British High Commission has not denied that letter, even though I've seen another analyst say that letter would have rang a bell straight away that, can you believe what we're seeing here? But maybe they're going to bring more facts, because the Senate President did ask them to liaise with the British High Commission. The minister, the Foreign Affairs Minister is in there. We just need, well, when I say we, maybe as a country, yes, but the people directly involved just need to know where exactly the facts are and what the liabilities are.
Investigation brings out the facts.
Exactly.
All right?
And that's what
brings out the facts. And then when you talk about liability, there's a huge difference between organ harvesting and organ donation.
Okay.
If what we are talking about is organ donation, it is completely different from organ harvesting.
But they are calling it organ harvesting.
That is mischievous nomenclature.
No, you lawyers have your nomenclature. So this is a technical nomenclature.
That is mischievous.
And they have explained.
That is mischievous nomenclature.
If you're not coming through the register, it's very likely they will be able to charge you with organ harvesting.
Organ harvesting is when you are making fiduciary gains from such organ. It is
maybe
marketing, sale. Okay. No, let's call it sale of organ.
And I have
but
to leave
donation is different.
I have to leave it
and
at this very juncture where you have clarified the two distinct
organ harvesting
issues.
Organ donation.
They are two different things. So let them find out which is which.
Okay, Ekweremadu went for organ donation. Now that's why you wrote British High Commission.
Okay.
You didn't go for organ harvesting.
I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Fred. Mr. Fred Nzeako, lawyer and public affairs analyst. Thank you as always for coming on.